welcome to Love Angels Light. And no, this is not the right one, is it? What a great start. Welcome to Friday Freebie. I am Eileen. I'm from Love Angels Light and Eileen Empowering. And I have a child right next to me on his technology while I do this. Now, today I wanted to talk about, you're okay there. Today I wanted to talk, he's stolen my chair, but that's okay. We can do this. Today we're talking about getting to know you, getting to know all about you. No, it's not about getting to know you. It's about getting to know yourself and why that's important and how getting to know you and stepping into that which is authentically you, yourself, and all of those things will help you when you go to set goals, when you go to live your life, when you go to do the things that you need to do to move your life forward. It's really important for you to know who you are, where you want to be, and how you're going to get there. Now, the how can be a little bit iffy. We can have our plan. We can have our way of doing things. But at the end of the day, the how is not up to you. The how is up to the universe. And so that can change when you're not really ready for it too, which is actually okay too. So let's get this show on the road. Let me kind of flick around to where I put my notes. Okay, so knowing yourself is the first step to being authentic. Now, what I wanted to suggest was if you don't have pen and paper and you're watching the replay, press pause, go and get pen and paper because it's really, really important. Knowing yourself is the first step to being authentic. Now, what we want to do is we want to sort of ask ourselves where we're at and where we want to be. But it's really about being aware and being self-aware. And I think I said that in something yesterday, but that's okay. Self-awareness is crucial in working out how you're going to live authentically. Now, if you're not self-aware, it makes it really hard. And if you're used to living behind a mask or behind layers of protection, then book a free coaching call and we can sort of try and work through those layers or work out a way to get to a point where you don't have so many layers to live through. All right. Self-awareness is necessary for taking control of your life. It helps you determine the direction, determine your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and reactions. Self-awareness is the principal way of understanding and influencing these things. So let me just cool. That notification was not for me. It was for a page I help manage. Cool. So here's the self-awareness challenge. Here's your challenge. What I want you to do on a piece of paper is write down the habits that you have and be really brutally honest. The only way for you to become more aware of yourself and the way you are behaving is for you to be brutally honest with who you are, what it is that you're spending your time doing, and where that's leading you. So be honest with yourself. If you want progress, then it's really key to be honest.
I want to eat food.
Oh, he's been a little magnet, this little dude. All right. Self-awareness illuminates the real reasons for past failures and challenges. We often dismiss our failures as bad luck or a lack of proper timing, but it's also possible that we failed to perceive the situation, others, or ourselves accurately. It's much easier to see the reason behind relationships and work and other struggles when we can look at ourselves clearly. Now, I speak to a lot of people about this. However, I speak to my husband. God love him. My poor husband. I should stop saying my poor husband because that has different connotations. I've got to love him. He's a wonderful, wonderful man. But on occasion, when there are things happening in our lives, I kind of sit there and go, I need 5 because I'm feeling triggered, and I need to know what you have just said, what part of me that is triggering, and why, what's behind that trigger. Because 9 times out of 10, if you are feeling triggered by something, it's not because of the person standing in front of you. It's literally because of something that's happened way back in your past that you need to work through to come back and then go, okay, I'm good now. All right. And I'll often say to him, I just need a moment. Something that has just happened has triggered me. And it's okay for me to step back and go, oh, I'm feeling triggered. What's behind the trigger? And what's behind that? And then keep working backwards until I find the spot, that tricky little thing that has made me feel a little bit not connected in that moment. Okay, so question number 1, do you consistently struggle at work or in your relationships? If the answer is yes, what can you do better? If the answer is no, still, what can you do better? Those who lack self-awareness, it's much easier to see the reason behind relationships and other struggles when we can look. Yeah, I said that already. Those who lack self-awareness are puzzled by their negative outcomes or blame others exclusively. So being aware of your own part of things helps you to not shift the blame, but to take responsibility, to take ownership of those things that are happening in your life. And when I studied Ho'oponopono, all right, one of the things Dr. Joe Vitale and Dr. Hugh Len were talking about was you heal yourself. The whole point of Ho'oponopono is to heal yourself. And as you heal yourself, the world around you shifts and changes. Now, you might go, but I'm healed, I'm fine. And I go, that's great. But it's called a healing journey for a reason. And we are humans who have layers. And even one of my clients came back to me yesterday or today and said, hey, I've discovered a new layer. Okay, cool, let's work through that. But she had the awareness of herself to actually come to me and go, I've got a new layer. It's a real doozy, very much an onion layer, this one. And so we were able to kind of sit back and book a session and work through that. Self-awareness is a critical quality for leaders. A study concluded that a high degree of self-awareness was the best predictor of success for executives. Executives that have an understanding of their weaknesses are able to build a team composed of members that fill those weaknesses. Right? A lack of self-awareness puts a limit on your leadership abilities. So when you are aware of your weaknesses, example, I knew that my posting on social media and my engagement with people who reacted or responded was not up to the standard that I wanted it to be. Now, I don't want to work too many hours a day because I want to spend time with that little guy down there. Right? So what did I do instead? I found a social seller. I found a virtual assistant who promoted herself as a social media person who now posts for me and engages with people for me, and we book my calendar that way, right? Because my weakness was not being consistent with social media posting, not being consistent with connecting with people, not having enough conversations and all of that. If you're in business, you want to be having those conversations. You want to be connecting with the people who connect with you, right? Makes sense, right? Well, there we are. So you want to be aware of your weaknesses so that if you are building a team, you can build people into your team who cover those weaknesses. Self-awareness is the foundation for personal progress. Without it, any personal development efforts will be severely hampered. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of success and self-improvement. Without self-awareness, the knowledge you possess can't be applied effectively. It is necessary to understand your beliefs, habits, strengths, and weaknesses to make personal change. Avoid assuming that you're self-aware. Give it some time and some thought. This is where you need your paper. I would suggest to you, grab a piece of paper and a pen. Again, if you didn't get it the last time I said pause the video and you're not watching it live, get a piece of paper, get a pen. even if you fold that paper into quarters, if it's actually a piece of paper, not in a notebook, fold it into quarters so that you can then go beliefs, habits, strengths, weaknesses, and then go through each of those sections and write down all of your beliefs, all of your habits, all of your strengths, and all of your weaknesses. Write them down. Because what you can then see on there, right there in front of you, is the list of things that you can then go, oh, that's positive. That's really great. I need to keep that one. Oh, that one's not very positive now, is it? Maybe that's something to work on. All right. So you can then sort of make a list of your daily habits and mark them as positive or negative. Then just pick one of them to work on. It can be a positive habit that you want to develop further, or it can be a negative habit that you want to reframe and change. Now, again, if you need help with that, then all you need to do is book a free call with me. I wonder if I'm magical enough. Nope, not today. Book a free call on this link here. I totally am magical enough. Book a free call. These sessions, these free coaching calls, are 45 minutes long. They're valued at nearly $300, all right? Because of the quality of the framework that I go through with you, it will help you to get to where you want to be. So what do you need to do? Make a list of your daily habits and mark each as positive or negative. Then pick just one habit. Make a plan for changing your chosen habit. What else can we do to know ourselves better? Self-awareness is great, and doing that activity will really help you to get more aware of who you are and where you want to be. Then we can look at affirmations. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. My son's tablet is making annoying noises. Itani, can you turn that down just a little bit, please, my love? Eltano. Ethan. It's been quiet. Oh, good. All right, so we can look at things that we can do to discover more about ourselves every day. Here's the thing. Some people go, and I hear this a lot. I hear this a whole lot when I'm working with clients or when I'm working with potential clients. I don't even know who I am anymore. Now, it's almost a case of having to sit there and go, I lost myself way back when. All right. I don't even know who I am anymore. And it's taking a moment to feel into that and go, you know what? The last time I remember knowing who I am and knowing where I was headed and what I wanted to be, I was about X many years old. I was about 19 years old. I was about 20 years old. I was about whatever age. And then you go back into that space and you go, you know what? That part of me, those dreams, those desires, are they something that I can implement now? And if the answer is no, you reach in and you give yourself, your inner child, give that part of you that you can't remember when you lost her, you give her a giant hug and you go, you know what, that's okay. I'm really sorry that I gave away my power. I'm really sorry that I prioritized other things, people, events over my own needs, and I'm going to do better. But the me that I am now, I need to work out at this stage of my life what it is that I am wanting to focus on, whether it's a new hobby or whether it's a new habit or whether it's a new skill that I want to learn, or, you know, any of those things, because you may not have the same dreams and the same aspirations. After I finished. You may not have the same dreams and aspirations as when you were, you know, when you lost yourself, if we want to phrase it like that, when you last remember who you are. What we want to focus on is realizing that you have talent, you have gifts, you are capable and worthy of rediscovering who you are. And in the process of discovering who you are, you then get to decide what that looks like for you. So I'm not saying wipe the slate clean. I'm saying look at what you wanted in the past? Does that fit who you are now? Does that fit into your lifestyle now? And if the answer is no, again, love on that part of you and give yourself a break, and then decide what you're going to do. It may be that you want to create a new habit, or join a club, or start a new hobby. It may be that you'll go, you know what, I'm not much of a learning person, but I could learn a new skill. Like, I could do a little tiny short course that'll give me some insight into how to do this one thing that I'm really that made me go, oh, might be interesting to learn that. Yeah? So you start that. You choose to discover more about yourself every day. I discover more about myself each day. Like everyone else, I am a complex and multifaceted individual. I currently enjoy many talents and gifts, but I have many more that lie untapped. I look forward to discovering all that I have to offer the world and myself. I frequently surprise myself with my vast capabilities. This phenomenon keeps me enthusiastic, yet I remain humble as I realize my own gifts. I recognize the numerous gifts that everyone else has to offer. I am more open to discovering new talents in myself if I remain humble and open-minded. I know I have many perspectives and preferences of which I am unaware. I find myself interesting. I want to know more. I am able to laugh at myself as I discover my quirks. These silly characteristics make me unique and lovable. I smile at myself every day. I try new things and introduce myself to new people on a regular basis. New activities and people create opportunities to discover more about myself. I like to reflect on how much I have grown over the years. I am encouraged to continue growing and evolving. It excites me to consider what I might experience. I wonder how powerful I can become. Today, I look forward to discovering more about myself. I want to experience something new today and use that to unlock a new talent. I'm committed to learning more about who I am. So, the questions here are: what do you know about yourself today that you did not know about? That you did not know 5 years ago? And what new activity, question 2, what new activity would you most like to experience? And number 3, do you need to add some new people to your life to fully grow into the person you could become? We live in the electronic age, which is amazing because you can look up on Facebook or any of the social media platforms any sort of keyword that links into what you're interested in learning. Now, I was watching a short clip probably on TikTok or LinkedIn from Kerwin Ray. Now, Kerwin Ray is a business strategist, but he also does a lot of personal development stuff. And one of the questions he had from the audience was from a kid who said, well, what's my purpose? And what the answer surprised me. Now, here's the thing about your life purpose. Your life purpose as a kid, as a teen, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever, it can change. Your purpose for right now may be different to your purpose in 20 years. Your purpose for right now, if you do not know who you are, your purpose for right now is to discover or rediscover who you are so that you can go out and connect in with that purpose to express that and help others. Like, I cannot stand here and say that we're put here just to meander aimlessly through life. I tried that, didn't do it for me. We were put here for a purpose. You need to discover what your purpose is. Now, what he said, Kerwin Ray, in that video was finding your life purpose can be a bit like finding your favorite ice cream. You might decide to taste vanilla, and vanilla's great. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm quite a fan of ice cream, so this was a great analogy for me. But then you might go, oh, There's some strawberry ice cream. There's some chocolate ice cream. And there's some mint chocolate ice cream, my personal favorite, mint chocolate. So good. But then you might go to like Gelatissimo or one of those places and they've got all these other flavors. Now, you are not going to know what your purpose is until you discover it for yourself. Now, does that mean that you keep tasting the ice cream or starting hobbies, or when you've already found something that fills you up and lights you up and fills you with joy? That's up to you. But if you find an activity or a pathway in your life that fills you with joy, that lights you up, that doors just open, then that, my friend, is where you're supposed to be. But if you haven't found that yet, then keep trying the ice cream. I don't mean physical ice cream, I mean hobbies. Keep trying new things until you sit there and you go, that's what I'm supposed to be. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm in my element. I'm loving what I do. This is where I'm supposed to be at this time in my life. And when you start to get jaded, as sometimes happens, then you start to taste more ice cream. All right? Now I want to go and eat ice cream. However, do what makes you happy. Do what fills you with joy. And when you get the time or the chance to either try something new or to recognize that that thing that was filling you with joy is not filling you with joy anymore, then it's time to sort of start rediscovering that new pathway. Because it may be that you've upskilled, you've up-leveled, you've hit the upper limit of where you were at. And now it's time to move on, to grow some more, to get to where you want to be. But most of all, love yourself just a little bit more every day. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Have a great afternoon.